draft. I would like Liv Sandbox's draft a lot more, but because it is Damwon Kia, I think we're just going to have to wait and let this one unfold before we can judge it. But I mean, it's a safe, good all-around comp. They have Seraphine mid that is going to be such an insane amount of healing. They're going to have so much staying power in these fights.
I actually think that Sandbox hard won the draft. But like you were saying, I mean, the nameplates can certainly skew things. After game one, though, can they really, right? Because Liv Sandbox were winning until they lost, to quote the immortal words of Skara. Like... They basically won that game. We're looking down the barrel of a theoretical 2-0 for Liv Sandbox. Yeah, it's a cool one. Arcade.
Yep. You know how I love old games.
Ooh, there's a big old flash in. There's a rocket jump as well. Immediate exhaust onto Ghost as Prince is able to run it out, but did have to use every summoner spell he had.
Patiently and safely around the river. Once again,
there's a Hex Flash as we... Oh no, the Dredge Line misses, and immediately the Kai'Sa explodes its first blood, and it goes over to Beryl, who is having a cathartic experience as the Encore lands onto the Azir, but unfortunately it misses Canyon, and another kill, one after the other. Yeah, they've set up the Phalanx, and they should be able to take some control as there's the Magnet Storm. Dredge Line is decent onto the backside, and it is actually a steal away of the Herald. The Nautilus will fall, however, a lot of the damage still available here for Liv Sandbox. Khan trying to kite this one out as it's a double kill for Prince, but the Emperor's Divide is massive. That being said, Summit, oh no! That's not what you wanted out of Showmaker. Flashes into a body slam, and now Khan's going to be swept up, and Liv Sandbox find the initial team fight.
Very well played here from Liv Sandbox. The power of Seraphine as well showing through here.
It's not like a fishing for pick type team composition. And that can be really dangerous, as Shelly is going to do a bit of a headbutt here, as there's a Magnet Storm from Beryl, but he's likely to fall down. Onfleet gets into the backline, will get swept underneath the inner turret and taken down. So slightly overly aggressive, and yeah, the turret fortification working out very, very well. He does that. Leandri's now completed. As you can see, now Damwon Kia looking for an opportunity once again. The flash in from Canyon looking for Prince. There's a Killer Instinct. Onfleet moving his way over as well, and have they bitten off more than they can chew? Oh, Ghost able to pick that one up with the Buster Shot at the very end. They can take down this outer turret. No more minions left over, though, as now Beryl over the wall. Summit feels like he may have found
Beryl.
And he does so, yeah, that's a crash down that ain't going to work. Magnet Storm comes in, and now Summit, who's trapped in where with who, as now Ghost finds the auto. Summit pulled back by the Infernal Chains, and that's the big front line now removed. Effort finds a Dredge Line onto Khan, and Khan not too worried about it. The Azir nowhere in sight from Liv Sandbox. They've used it to bolster their morale rather than fall victim to it. As I say it, I cast curse the heck out of Effort, who will be just taken down. Canyon stops Fate from getting on in there and just immediately gets smashed back into Liv Sandbox. Summit, my god, he's having the series of his life. Power of Liv Sandbox in these team fights is going to be very high. In goes Beryl, finds track repel onto 4. 3-man Emperor's Divide as well, but they need to make sure that they secure these kills. Effort's going to go down first, and there goes Prince, as now the cavalcade of Damwon Kia is going to head forward. That beat drop was pretty damn sick from Fate, but unfortunately, the rest of his friends are dead.
Yep, that's the, I mean, it's like I cast her curse. I'm like, look at all the engage tools they have.
9 out of 10 kill participation as well. He's making things happen. After what was a pretty forgettable experience on the Rakan, as we're going to see another fight. The Encore lands just onto Beryl, though, who soaks so much damage. He's still alive, by the way. Effort is going to be booped away. Beryl eventually does fall, is in the back line. Onfleek's taking matters into his own hands. The Acathian Rain lands down onto Ghost, who gets over the wall and says goodbye to the horsey and will survive. Ghost is a very lucky little yordle to build that one up. And defensive options is certainly important.
You're stuck now. Where are you running? Where are you running, Damwon Kia?
I mean, thankfully, Canyon is like the fastest bear on the Rift, so he should be all right. Summit going to get chained.
The choke point, though.
And there we go. Khan's going to have to flash his way out. Okay, Beryl diving on him once again. Another decent Magnet Storm, as if this fight keeps going, it's going to be well and truly in favor of Liv Sandbox. Look at the health bars. They're barely even going down. Prince locks him down, but there goes Showmaker. Finds the Emperor's Divide. Is it going to be enough, though? Is going to be the question as Fate goes golden in the back line. Onfleek has to get the heck out of there. Showmaker was untouched for so long, as now Summit's trying to escape. The Sand Soldiers are trying to be the entire team for Damwon Kia. And in the end, it is a 3-for-3.
Damwon Kia turning that one around just barely. Well, the members they have surviving, they are going to be able to turn this into that soul, the Cloud Soul, which is going to,
they hit you. It's real scary. That's a
cast
bit of a
was
party
weak.
cast.
Yeah.
Exactly. Only really gets Showmaker out of the fight as Summit's going to get closed in on. Dredgeline does absolutely nothing as now the Rel goes in. The Magnet Storm is massive. The ulti from the Hecarim's decent, but look, everyone has the Grievous Wounds. There's the Empress denial, actually, onto Liv Sandbox, and another pentakill for Ghost. How many times does this guy need to wrap up team fights? And Damwon Kia will win the game.
Oh, he's going to wrap up tonight in a big present. Here, there's no minions, so this looks a little bit silly. But as they arrive, your Damwon Kia will be able to finish off this turret barrel. Okay, he's fine.
He's going to be okay in the end.
Well, I mean, there you have it. Really bad task, I have to say, for Summit. Like, I don't want to be too critical of this guy after a pretty fantastic 2 games. But the cast there was very weak, and it would have helped. It would have been huge for them if he actually had held that going into the last part of the fight. But Damwon Kia had too much damage.
Yeah. And Ghost, great positioning. Rocket jump flash was really cute.
Going to be some slapping going on there, but yeah, that was a series that ended up being still. It was a 2-0, but much closer than the scoreline will show you. And yeah, I mean, like, this is a game where I think the case continues to be that I want to see Krako back in the lineup,
yes,
right? Like,
me too.
This is another series where, again, I think On Fleek is going to be given maybe one more opportunity. I think they will give him one more series before Krako comes back in. And I think he deserves a chance to be given a few games here, but 2 tough opponents, right, in T1 and now Damwon Kia. And in the second game, a game that was 100% winnable, like they could have won if his connection, his synergy with Fate was a lot better.
Thank you very much, guys. And Damwon Kia is on a 8 matches winning streak here in the LCK. This time around, Liv Sandbox, when they were playing on the blue side, they opened both Seraphine and Rel. So it was a trade between those 2 champions for the first pick. Unlike Rel, Seraphine is a champion that can flex into 3 different roles, mid, support, and also AD carry. So they went for this flex pick for B1, and Damwon Kia went for the first pick, Rel. We expected them to actually first pick Kai'Sa, but actually Damwon Kia decided to go for Rel Udyr comp because I guess they had something in store for that marksman pick. Definitely because Seraphine Order comp is really intimidating, so it was really critical that Damwon Kia was able to take that Udyr away from Liv Sandbox. It's really kind of strange or really impressive to see that Damwon Kia, they always win on Kai'Sa, but at the same time, they always defeat Kai'Sa when she's on the opponent's side. So there was a Herald fight where Liv Sandbox was able to get ahead. However, I think the difference in the concentration during team fights kind of decided the result of this game. Speaking of the decisive team fights, let's take a look at the first highlight. Damwon Kia, I think this team itself is an Udyr. They always change their stance. We thought they were backing and then they went in, especially Beryl with that fantastic engage onto the enemies. And Liv Sandbox was actually just running on through the mid lane, but Damwon Kia was able to find the angle to re-engage, which kind of made it more tricky for Seraphine to find the perfect encore angle. And that engage with Rel and Azir was the key to Damwon Kia's success in this game. And let's take a look at the second replay. Once again, team fight kind of concentration really matters a lot. Moving on to the later phase. This fight didn't look bad for Liv Sandbox from the get-go. And then actually Nautilus ult goes off on Aatrox, and also Azir was able to lock down the kills when OnFlick was chasing down Ghost. Kai'Sa did react to that engage, but there was just so many follow-up CC from the side of Damwon Kia. Showmaker did a fantastic work here. Well, Gorilla actually thought that Damwon Kia lost this. I mean, yeah, lost because they almost got all the opponents, but still Azir was there intact in order to clean out all the remaining opponents. I think Damwon Kia has a very high understanding of the ability of Seraphine. They always try to like split and spread, which means Seraphine cannot land a kind of multi-man encore. Seraphine is indeed a top-tier champion. She has a very high sustainability, but if you fight like Damwon Kia, if you don't just group up, then Seraphine cannot really dominate team fights. And the POG will go over to Showmaker on that Azir pick. 8 POG so far. This one was definitely a very tough one to vote for. Burrow did a fantastic work with that teamfight initiation. Ghost was also able to pick up that pentakill on Tristan. A second one already in the split. Here as well, dodging the encore and then turnaround kill on Hecarim, which was also a shutdown gold. Going over to the pocket of Azir. In this game, well, Azir was not looking for some miracle special delivery. He was actually waiting for the last minute, and he was waiting until the enemies used all of their dashes in order to lock down as many airbornes as possible. Also, he was always stepping all of them critical skills, and then he went in for some critical damage output. Showmaker is now on top of POG, even accelerating his lead up against the second place player, Chovy. 3 out of 9. Actually, it was a split vote. 3 for sport, 3 for mid, and 3 for bot, but casting votes were actually all voted over. No, 2 of the casting votes were voted over to Showmaker, and Ghost also got 1 casting vote as well.